All right, guys, so it seems that the consensus across the board is that the market is a little bit whack right now, and I would have to agree. But in any environment, there are a couple of good-looking setups out there if you know where to look. So one that we found here today is a good-looking daily squeeze in Restoration Hardware. So what I like about RH is that the market's had a lot of volatility as of late with the election, all these crazy back and forth swings, but Restoration here has held up pretty good. So you got a good-looking daily squeeze, and if you look at the Squeeze Pro indicator, you got your first light blue bar today, and officially the squeeze has fired. So I think in this environment, guys, where the market is really lacking any kind of momentum and direction, you need to find good, clean setups. I think Restoration is a good example of that. So I'm giving this one time. I went with a put credit spread today, selling the puts at 380, buying 360s as protection. So basically selling the puts right at today's low. But I went with December 18th expiration. So the thing with Restoration is that this is a good-looking daily squeeze, but it's been a good-looking daily squeeze for a couple of months now. So up here near this 405-ish level, it's definitely had a little bit of difficulty trying to break through. So I'm not trying to back myself into a corner with a short expiration. Going with the put credit spread, just to put the probabilities in my favor, and then going with December 18th expiration to give her a little bit of time. So I think, individual stock-wise, probably one of the cleanest setups in the market right now. And then the next trade I'm considering here, if we take a look at technology, now, I think the most important thing to keep in mind when it comes to tech is that if you look at, say, Amazon, Facebook, you look at Amazon, Facebook, etc., and the Qs as well, we're stuck inside this weekly squeeze right now. So the structure of the weekly chart, to me, kind of points to a bunch of back and forth chop here. But if we break it down to the daily chart, that doesn't mean that inside of that chop, we can't get some decent swings. So taking a look at the market, we really have gone nowhere since the month of September. Rather, all we've kind of done here is just, make a nice move away from the 21, and then you move back to it. A nice move away from the 21, and then you get version back to it. So on and so on. So taking a look here, guys, you get this big explosive move after the election. Very quickly, we get extended. So this was a really good short. Selling a couple call credit spreads, catching that move back to the 21. But you take a look at the last couple of days, we get extended here. We make the flush back to the 21. And this is typically where you expect the market to hold up. And if the buyers are going to come in, this is where you typically look for them to come in. So we hold up there yesterday nicely. You get a nice bounce here today. And what I'm loving is you're getting a little bit of bullish momentum coming in on the Squeeze Pro indicator. So obviously, not the easiest environment right now, and things are changing quick. But what I will be looking for tomorrow, and for those of y'all in the group, we're going to cover this during the morning live stream. Depending where we open, I'm not looking for a move to the all-time highs here. All I'm really looking for is just kind of that natural 2 to 3 ATR push off the 21. And I think we do got a chance of getting that here, especially if that bullish momentum can use to pour in. So what I'm looking for tomorrow, if everything holds up okay, is looking for a put credit spread for next Friday's expiration, selling puts underneath the 21. And then it's just as simple as, can we get a nice push here, a couple of days of momentum, lock in those gains and move on to the next one. So no big expectations, just based on the weekly charts, based on the lack of momentum. I think looking for these natural little 2 to 3 ATR moves away from the 21, lock in your gains. You can try to short it on the way back down, but that's what makes sense to me right now. So we're rocking with Restoration Hardware. We got an Iron Condor on Amazon, a couple other small positions, and jumping into Restoration Hardware today. So let's see if Restoration is finally ready to break out here. You get the all-time highs at 410.50, so that's definitely going to be an interesting one, but that'll be the focus tomorrow. So for those of you guys and girls in the Focus Trades group, the Qs gave us the pull back to the 21. They held up really good today. Can we get a couple days of momentum? It's all we're asking for in this environment. Get a nice put credit spread under the 21, and if we can get a good push, might be a nice looking trade. So I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. That'll be the focus, and we'll see what the market brings us.